Pentagon drops $300 million on tiny decoys that trick missiles. Alloy Surfaces Company, based in Aston, Pennsylvania, was awarded a $300 million modification on June 12, according to a latest contract notice, covering continued production of a family of infrared decoy flares used to protect American military aircraft from missiles that track heat instead of radar. The new funding brings the total value of the underlying contract, W15QKN 21D0014, to $328.8 million, and stretches the production schedule out to an estimated completion date of March 30, 2031. The devices at the center of this contract are small, but the threat they counter is one that has killed aircrews and downed aircraft for decades. Flares like the M211, the MJU-49, MJU-50AB, MJU-51AB, MJU-52AB, MJU-64B, and MJU-66B, along with a newer model designated XM219, work by ejecting from an aircraft and burning hot enough to mimic the heat signature of a jet engine or helicopter exhaust, tricking an incoming missile's infrared sensor into chasing the flare instead of the actual aircraft. Most fall into a category the military calls advanced infrared countermeasure decoys, and for several of these special material decoys, U.S. procurement notices state that the payload material is proprietary to Alloy Surfaces, an ignition chemistry that burns at a spectrum closely matched to real engine heat, a refinement that makes them harder for modern missile seekers to distinguish from an actual target compared to older-style flares. Outside reporting going back years has identified Alloy Surfaces as the sole source capable of producing flares that meet the military's required performance standards for several of these decoy types, which explains why this contract drew exactly one bid when the Pentagon solicited offers over the internet. The threat these decoys exist to counter has a name most people have heard even if they've never thought about how to defeat it. Man-portable air defense systems, universally shortened to manpads, are shoulder-fired missiles that a single soldier can carry, aim, and launch at a low-flying aircraft, and their infrared guidance systems work by homing in on the heat an engine produces. Manpads are designed to threaten low-flying aircraft and helicopters, with engagement envelopes varying by missile type, and they have proven lethal across multiple conflicts precisely because they're cheap, portable, and require no radar lock that a pilot might detect in advance. The flares this contract funds are the primary defense available to a pilot once a heat-seeking missile is already in the air. That threat has only grown more unpredictable in the past several months, and not in a direction anyone fully anticipated. Ukrainian sources reported Shahed-type attack drones fitted with manpads and air-to-air missiles, turning what used to be a purely ground-based threat into one that can now show up flying alongside a swarm of explosive drones. Ukrainian Mi-8 and Mi-24 helicopter crews had spent months shooting down Shahed drones at close range with door-mounted machine guns, a tactic that worked precisely because the drones themselves couldn't shoot back. A drone now capable of launching its own heat-seeking missile at an approaching helicopter changes that calculation entirely, and it illustrates a broader trend defense planners have been tracking closely. Cheap, infrared-guided threats are proliferating onto platforms nobody designed flare countermeasures to specifically anticipate.